Who day, ladies and gentlemen. It was a fantastic week to be a Bengals fan. We got the first win of the season we're going to be able to talk about here, taking out the Carolina Panthers and the Red Rifle. You know, if we were still calling that, Andy Dalton looked okay at times, not great at others, but this is not an Andy Dalton podcast, and he's no longer a Bengals. So we're here to talk about the Bengals. Got Josh and Nick with me tonight. Gentlemen, how are we doing?
Doing well. How about a Bengals win? Hooday, baby.
Big who day. Josh?
This is what we've been waiting on all season. Let's get it started. Can't go 14-3 without winning one.
I like it.
Show your pride for Ken and Willie Anderson's Hall of Fame candidacy with our exclusive t-shirt featuring a bold design. This shirt lets you celebrate two football legends. Plus, 30% of proceeds go to the Ken Anderson Alliance and Willie Anderson Lineman Academy. Wear your support and make a difference today.
We're going to just go ahead and jump right in. We're going to recap the game through our cheers and jeers. So, Nick, I'll let you lead off cheers and jeers.
I'm going to say the cheers. Really the defense getting some stops. Having a turnover, that was a big turning point in the game. Really being able to make, the stops essentially for defense. Made some adjustments. Actually had a couple stops. So I'm going to say baby steps, but definitely a cheer for this week.
I like it. Josh, what cheers you got?
My cheers definitely going to go with the offense. The offense is rolling, spreading the ball around, very balanced, 31-31 in terms of passing and rushing. That is the most balanced offense we have had in a long time. And it all comes down to the offensive line. Everything is running from the offensive line, keeping Burrow healthy and getting the rushing game going. So we haven't seen this good of an offensive line since Burrow's been in the league, and it all starts up front.
Clean pocket. Everything's looking good. He was able to do some of his Burrow magic, as we like to see. But all three aspects of the game were actually really good. So I'm going to talk special teams. Uncle Rico out there kicking. Might as well call him that because he can kick a football clear over those mountains. It's pretty awesome. So we have a great punter. Evan McPherson looked like Money Mac again. I'm not complaining at all about special teams. Those kick return maybe is spotty still, but the fact that we actually have a punter and, happy trails to Brad Robbins. Thanks for showing up, and we wish you the best of luck in arena football or wherever you end up. So you can't really complain with Rico. Rico is a great punter. He is leading the league in most punting statistics right now. So, yeah, we go from having one of the worst punters in the league last year to one of the best punters, or the best, if not one of the best punters of the year. So I'm happy with that. That's a big cheer for me. We do got to do jeers because there is the balance on this show. We got to go one way or the other. So we got to keep it nice and going. So, Josh, I'll let you start off with your jeers.
I think we can all agree on this. Cam Taylor-Britt.
Yeah.
What happened? You're the number one corner. Any one of us could have blown you up in that game. Your head was not in it, it seemed like. I don't know what happened. He was either holding or he was letting everybody run 10 yards past him and trying to catch up and just getting blown up. It was atrocious. It was horrible. I couldn't stand to see it. And I know that he has so much more in him than that game showed. And hopefully it was a blip on the radar and it really doesn't matter. And it was a nothing game. And next week he's going to come out and guard their best guy, but that was horrible.
I don't know if you want to see him on the field next week, though. Before we get into Nick's and my jeers on this, he looks slow. He is an extremely fast player. That's one of the things he's known for. He's tall, he's long, he's fast, and he looked slow. He looked like Nick or I running down the baseline is literally what I put in the group chat. It was bad. It did not look good by any stretch of the imagination. And for those of you that never saw us play baseball, we'd hit the ball to the wall to get a single, basically. There's no hustle.
Double. It was a double. If it hit the wall, it was a double. It's only because it had to go like 400 feet. Okay.
Yeah, you could trot into second base. Yeah, we're not known for our speed, but how did he go from being a potential All-Pro caliber shutdown corner this year to looking completely lost? I mean, to say he looked like Eli Apple is an insult to Eli Apple. Like, he looked so bad. Artrell Hawkins, I think, is the best comparison I could say. If y'all remember Artrell Hawkins, early 2000s Bengals, and for the first 2 or 3 seasons, he had no idea how to play corner. He ended up being okay at points, but he had no idea.
You better put some respect on Artrell Hawkins' name.
After like 3 seasons, he became pretty good. But for the first 3 seasons, he was just like.
Just remember, Casey, we were playing backyard football, and you and I would go back and forth between who was supposed to be Carl Pickens and who was supposed to be Artrell Hawkins. Okay.
And who always won? Carl Pickens.
But it's because he's Tennessee grad, it's Carl Pickens. So, I mean, what can you say? Guy was a great wide receiver. Anyways, I'll go into my Jeers.
Yeah, I'll go into
my Jeers.
No, me first.
Me. All right, you go, finally.
Rock, paper, scissors, go.
So my jeer was also still how bad the defense looked overall. Yes, they got a good goal line stand at the beginning of the game. Thank you, Chris Jenkins. You may be legit. But overall, they still look bad. No sacks on Andy Dalton with a not very good line. I know they've improved over last year's line in Carolina, but still just not a very good line. And you had 0 sacks. So I got a lot of concerns. And unfortunately, Buffalo looked like crap and Baltimore looked awesome. And I'm like, great, just when we need a juggernaut Ravens team coming in all with our crappy defense. And the Ravens defense looked tough. So our defense needs to step it up. Joe can make a lot of things happen, and that offense is running really well, like Josh mentioned. They're going to be able to overcome a lot of issues. I don't want to be in a shootout with Lamar Jackson. I don't want to be in a shootout if we make the playoffs with Pat Mahomes. I don't want to be in a shootout with any of those guys. I want to be able to beat them by playing consistent offense and defense that's good enough to win. Nick, what's your jeer?
I'm going to say Cam Taylor-Britt, but more importantly, his mouth.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I'm stealing this from somebody from ESPN. I can't remember his name. But quit talking. Just play football. At what point in time do you ever think that talking is going to make anything better? You're just giving them more ammo to play harder against you. Shut up. Go play football. Nobody wants to hear you talking crap. You obviously can't back it up this year. Just focus on getting better and going out and playing football.
Yeah. You are not Chad Johnson. I know that's a flip of position, but Chad would literally call out his play, go out there and make the play, smack talk people, but he'd back it up. You can't talk smack if you don't back it up, like Nick was saying. You can't just, this is a college offense. Well, you got embarrassed by a college offense. And then, just come out this week. Do you even know how to play football? I'm not saying I can play it better than you because I sure as heck can't, but I'm also not making millions of dollars to play football. There's expectations. You're a second-round draft pick. You're supposed to be a lockdown guy. You can't be getting burned on simple out-and-up routes. You can't be getting burned on slants. Make something happen. I don't understand. Yeah, go ahead, Josh.
In all honesty, what happened? Every other game that we've seen him in, he has been the number 1 shutdown corner. Even when he's talked his smack, he's at least backed it up. Against Patrick Mahomes, he looked really good. He was able to shut down Rashee Rice. He was able to shut down everyone he's ever played against, really, for the most part. I don't know what happened in this game. Maybe there were some other things in his mind that just took his focus off the game, but he wasn't there. And we were calling for him to be taken out of the game in the first quarter.
Mm-hmm.
He was not there. They knew something with his game. They knew if you throw to him, you're either going to get a flag or you're going to get a big play. And it was every single time they looked his way. It only changed when they put DJ Turner in the game. And that was the big turn where I think his athleticism and his ability to actually cover actually made a difference. We have a newcomer in here, the mustache. Here he is. Go ahead. What do you think?
Keep going.
Oh, I'm done. I can't do anymore. Go ahead.
Just to fill you in, just to really not throw you under the bus too hard. We're doing essentially, we already did our cheers. Now we're working on jeers. If you want to kind of bundle in the two.
All right. Well, see, I don't know what to cheer right now because you guys already did your
Just
cheers.
Whatever you feel. Whatever you feel.
I mean, you are a therapist, so
Man,
it's all about feelings.
That's true. It feels good to get a win, I guess. That is the plus. Jamar, pretty good, right? Feeling pretty good about that one. And then I'll take a third one just for the sake of it. No, I don't have a third one actually at the moment. Offensive line. There it is. Jeers, CTB, the secondary as a whole, right?
We were just finishing up talking about it when you jumped in.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys probably have already touched on all of this at this point, but yeah, fair enough. So it's just gonna be crazy. We gotta figure it out. We've managed to give Frank Pollock a game ball last week because the offensive line for only the fourth or sixth game of Joe Burrow's career that he didn't give up a sack. So we get a game ball for that. So that there's another cheer for you. Frank Pollock actually did his job this week.
Well, the funny
secondary,
thing is,
I guess we just got to figure out who's coaching them and figure out why. What's that?
So that was the first time since 2021 against the Steelers that he has not been sacked.
Crazy.
Not a good statistic.
No. Wait, was the 2021 game against Tennessee?
It was against the Steelers. It broke their longest streak in the NFL.
I thought we had one. I thought the playoff game against Tennessee, we didn't give up a stack either.
No, he got sacked 7 times in that game.
I think I got sacked a lot, yeah.
Oh, all right. Well,
that was bad.
He only got sacked about 7 times.
Hey,
playoff record. But, it is what it is.
Guess what? You just proved that advertising on podcasts works. Reach thousands of local listeners each week and grow your business. Reach out to Talkin Bengals today to find out more by emailing talkinbengals@gmail.com.
And we're going to move into our next segment here. We're going to recap our Talking Bengals challenge. So for the 4th week in a row, we had no winners. What I thought was going to be an easy thing out there turned out to be really hard. And don't feel bad. None of us were close either. We had 1 turnover and 0 sacks, which is part of my jeer. How do you not get a sack against Andy Dalton and a terrible line? But we're not going to go back into that because we already talked about it. But next week, or this week, we're going to have a different question. We're going to make it not so terribly difficult, I don't feel like. So you'll have an opportunity. But for now, we're going to start previewing the Bengals-Ravens game. So, Zach, what are your thoughts on the Bengals-Ravens preview?
Well, we got to figure out how to stop the run. Because if they do what they did to Buffalo, I don't know if I glitched or not, but I glitched on my end, so I apologize. If they do what they did against Buffalo this week against the Bengals, we're in a lot of trouble because we have Derrick Henry resurgence upon us right now, and it's not looking good. So that's my big takeaway is how do we stop the run? And then the second key thing that I'm going to take away from that is contain Lamar Jackson like you always have, and you win the football game.
So Casey muted himself. So I'm going to say that's a really good. That's a really good take there, Bernsey, and I'm going to kind of jump in on that as well. Really containing Lamar Jackson like we have in the past, I think that's going to be a key to a victory. Essentially our defensive backfield has to step up and has to figure out something else. Figure out how to at least, break up a few passes. God forbid you do that. Maybe an interception here and there. But I think you're 100% spot on. I think it's going to be run defense. That's going to be the biggest play there. Being able to really be able to stop Derrick Henry. I think that's going to be the key to the game, stopping Derrick Henry. Josh, what do you think?
I mean, you're going up against one of the most rush-heavy teams in the league. And this is statistically over the past 4 or 5 seasons, they have wanted to run the ball consistently every single time they get it. And now they got Derrick Henry. What do you expect? They're going to want to run the ball right down your throat. And this Bengals team, this iteration with Lou Anarumo has been very good at containing not only Lamar Jackson the past 2 seasons, but they've also been very good at containing Derrick Henry. All we can hope is get BJ Hill back. BJ Hill coming back hopefully is going to be a big help in containing Derrick Henry, keeping him from running the ball straight down the middle because he's a north to south runner. Keep him in the backfield, keep him 2-3 yards, that's it. Make Lamar have to sit in the pocket and throw the ball, and you can hopefully have a chance to beat them because their back end of the defense is very susceptible to give up big plays. And as we saw in 2021, hopefully we can get Jamar Chase out in space, let him beat the crap out of their back end of the defense.
I really see this being a shootout. And they're going to run the ball down our throats, and I don't know. I don't feel very, very good about anybody stopping Derrick Henry. I was hoping he was old and not going to be worth the crap, but he looked really good. Really good. And that's very worrisome, and I don't want to keep beating a dead horse because you guys have knocked the crap out of him, or I guess a very alive horse because he's running through people and destroying everything.
See, let's eulogize it because we've already buried the horse.
Yeah, just bring it back.
So
It's a resurrection. We're resurrecting said horse at this point.
I know I know it's only Tuesday, but has there been any more word about Miles Murphy coming back?
Not seeing it.
So I was hearing something today. There's a possibility that he could come back. So there's a possibility that all 3 of them could come back this week. It's all going to come down to Wednesday. We'll see who practices on Wednesday. BJ Hill, Miles Murphy, and his name's escaping me, the Texans dude. He hasn't done it.
Sheldon Rankins.
Yeah, Sheldon Rankins, yeah. There's a possibility that all 3 could potentially come back because the 4-game IR stint is coming to an end. So hopefully it's either going to end or get extended.
That's going to take us into our prediction time. So we've looked at the game. We're going to get to some other trivia and stuff right after this.
Podium Automotive is a proud sponsor of Talkin Bengals. In Greater Cincinnati, it's Podium Automotive for all your auto needs. Skilled technicians, quality service you can trust, and fair prices. Tell us Talkin Bengals sent you and get 5% off all services. Schedule your appointment today on Facebook at Podium Automotive or call 859-869-0097.
For now, let's get into predictions. Nick, you first.
I think score predictions. I'm going to kind of go in line with Casey here. I think really he's going to be looking into. I think it's going to be a shootout, and I think there's going to be some defensive turnovers. Thinking 28-24 Bengals.
That's a very good prediction. I like it. You picked my number 28 because you do think I'm the greatest. In 24, some average people wore 24.
Ken Griffey Jr. I don't who was that guy? Did he even play baseball or football or anything?
Some guy called the Kid? I don't know. Anyways,
he might have revolutionized the game of baseball during I don't know, a generation, maybe, possibly.
So I'll bring us down. I don't see a win here. I just don't see it. That defense is hot garbage. Yeah, they looked better against Andy freaking Dalton and his crew of flunkies, to quote Chappelle Show with the Prince episode. Like, could you even name any of those people on the offense other than Andy Dalton? This guy could not. I could not. So I don't see them beating a team that just ran over the Bills like they weren't even anything at all. Like they were a JV team, kind of like Mr. JV MVP who's on this podcast. But I think that it's going to end up being Ravens 31, Bengals 23.
So Ravens 31, Bengals 23.
Josh?
So I think the Bengals are going to come out with a sense of freaking urgency. But it's going to be a shootout. Both defenses kind of suck. And they'll show it. It's going to be 35-27 Bengals. Bengals are going to come out. They're going to end up getting the win. Lamar Jackson's going to make some mistakes because he's prone to make mistakes in big games. And Joe Burrow is going to – I still think he's going to come out as the league MVP at the end of the season. I am not giving up hope. He's going to be the reason the Bengals make it anywhere close to the playoffs.
What's your score prediction, Josh?
Did I say it 35? Is that what I said? 35, 27?
Yeah, I think that's what it was, 35-27.
Bengals?
Yep. I'm not sure if Zach is frozen or if he's deep in thought.
He's thinking really hard.
He was a toddler. You know what I think he'd have been doing right there, but definitely froze. All right, so he will come back and give us his score prediction later. So that's a surprise tool that will help us later.
I'm back. Sorry, I don't know what happened there. All right, my score prediction. My connection seems a little bit better. Hopefully, my connection is also good for this weekend, so I can actually watch the game again. So that being said, my score prediction for Sunday would be, and the last couple times when I've said the Bengals are going to score a lot, they haven't. So I'm kind of hesitant to do that. But like Casey was alluding to, I think it's going to be a shootout. Give me Bengals 45 and give me 41 for the Ravens.
That is a ridiculously high-scoring game.
Yeah, Derrick
Yes.
Henry's just going to run all over that defense as long as nobody. Now, Sheldon Rankins comes back, DJ Hill comes back, Miles Murphy comes back. Maybe that changes. But if we have the defense that showed up in weeks 1 through 4, I think it's just not going to be good for the defense.
Definitely going to be a challenge. Which leads us into our Talking Bengals challenge of the week. So Josh actually came up with this one, so I'm going to let him pitch it out there to the world.
So this past week, Bengals had an even split, 31 pass plays to 31 rush plays. That is the most balanced Bengals team we have seen in any recent memory. What do you think it's going to be for this week in terms of rushing plays and passing plays? Is it going to be balanced? Is it going to be even, or is it going to be unbalanced? Are we looking at anything like I got it? 41 passing plays to 23 running plays. But what do you all think?
I like that. Somebody's writing that down so we can judge it for next week.
23 rushing to 41 passes.
I'm going to go with 39 pass attempts and 26 rushing attempts.
26, 49,
39.
39.
What do you got?
Burnsy, you go ahead.
All right.
I'm typing everything out.
Okay. So I'm looking at their defensive rankings as far as rushing goes. They've given up the least amount of rushing yards in all of football. So I'm going to say 41 and 15 because apparently, other than last week, in a Zach Taylor offense, you don't run the ball more than 15 times. So I think it's going to be solely on Joe Burrow and the passing game. I think we're going to utilize the running backs for that, but give me 41-15.
I'm going to say it's a little more balanced than that. I think we're going to go 24 rushing, and I'm going to say we're not going to take that many passing plays, maybe 36, just because it's not going to take us very long to score.
Take your career to new heights with constructive curiosity. Whether it's career coaching, mental performance training, or business management consulting, Constructive Curiosity has the insight to get it right. Visit constructivecuriosity.com to get started today.
So we saved a fun part for almost last here. We do have a couple more things we're going to get to, but the trivia question. So we talked about it last week, 0-3 teams making the playoffs, bad. It was very, very bad. So the question is, what percentage of 1-3 teams have made the playoffs since 1990?
Just
15.
Bengals or
Any team in the NFL. What percentage?
15%.
What'd you say, Nick?
15.
Okay, 15. Zach, what do you think?
15 teams or 15%?
Percent.
Oh, damn! I'm not gonna do math. 12%.
7. It's your 7.
And Josh is deep in thought, so we're not sure if he's got an answer
Said
for us or
7.
not.
He said 7.
Okay, so 7. Man, it depends how I want to grade this one, who I'm going to give credit to. Because Nick is technically the closest. He said 15, and it's 14.4%. But if we're doing
Closest,
price is right
obviously.
rules, he went over.
I'm closest, obviously. I win.
So, but you still didn't get it right, so you're
down.
wrong.
Shame, Bob.
I rounded up. I should have rounded down. I rounded up. I'm sorry.
We are into exactitudes here. So you are wrong. You get no credit.
Yeah, this isn't USAREC math, Nick. Jeez.
So that was a trivia question. I mean, that
Show your Cincinnati Bengals and Florence pride with the Talkin Bengals Y'all t-shirt from Season Enterprises. The shirt shows the iconic Florence Water Tower in Bengals black and orange. Get yours today on Etsy from Season Enterprises.
we'll get to closing thoughts here in a minute, but there's a few things I want to touch on before that. And, if you can do anything to help all the people who are struggling with the Hurricane Helene, the aftermath of that, there's been a lot of terrible things that have happened, destruction that most of us have never seen that kind of scale of destruction before. So please find a reputable organization, donate what you can, provide any support that you can, because, we're Americans and Americans help each other out. And if it was happening to your family, you'd want people to help you too. So that's the first thing I want to put out there. So, find good organizations. We'll post some on our Facebook and other social media, let you guys know some good reputable places to help out. The other one, which is more of a thing for our region, is, it was with a heavy heart that we had to learn about the passing of Pete Rose, baseball pioneer, should be Inner Circle Hall of Famer, one of the best to ever play the game. Whether you liked his personality or his attitude, you couldn't doubt the fact that he played as hard as he possibly could every single time he stepped onto the field. Like him, lump him, he's part of baseball, and he played the game the right way. Can't say anything about his off-the-field stuff. I didn't know him off the field, but watching the tapes and everything else, he's one of the best baseball players to ever play the game. So, guys, you have any thoughts on either one of those topics you want to put out there?
I would like to say a little something about the hurricane relief. A lot of times to get to the local communities that have been affected the most, a lot of times you can donate locally to local organizations to those communities. So if you would do a little bit of research into who you're giving to, that way you make sure you're actually providing that donation to someone who's going to be able to directly affect the people involved.
Josh or Zach? All
Well,
right, so that brings us to closing thoughts. Josh.
Well, my main thing was to talk about Pete Rose. Pete Rose was an awesome person. Anyone that has actually met him, he was great. Funny, leave you in stitches. I don't have anything particular that I know about him. I've never actually met the guy, but I've heard a lot of stories. The dude was awesome. Yeah, he made some questionable choices. Betting on the game of baseball, not fixing games, shouldn't have disqualified him from seeing the Hall of Fame in his lifetime. Horrible choice. I think baseball really missed the mark on that. They really should have rethought that, but the old heads of baseball, they couldn't let it go. It's horrible. It's a travesty. He's one of the best players of all time. He is the hit leader. You cannot keep him out of the Hall of Fame. But now that he's passed, there's a chance that he could get there, and it's horrible that he didn't get to see it in his lifetime. So now we need to push, get him into the freaking Hall of Fame because he's one of the best. Get him there. Get him in there. Let his family see it. I don't know why he's not there already.
I mean, he's obviously the best hitter to ever play the game. Look how many hits the man had. They didn't call him Charlie Hustle for no reason. I mean, he's how I modeled my game. Obviously, I wasn't as fast as he was, but I hustled like he did. Every time I ran on the field, ran off the field, every time I made contact with the baseball at the plate, it was as hard as I could go every single time. So prayers for Pete Rose and his family. Hope everybody is doing the best they can, and hopefully Pete Rose gets inducted in the Hall of Fame in the next 2 years.
Zach?
Well, I'm kind of trying to put my thoughts together of what I actually want to close out with. There's just a lot going on in the world today. And to quote some great lyricists that are out there, people fighting, looting, polluting, it's okay, right? Yeah, that's right. I'm dating myself there. Okay.
To be honest, I thought you were going to say I got 99 problems, but
Nope. I wasn't going there. Nope. There's a lot going on in the world today, and I'll leave it at that. Be kind to one another. Be kind to the people around you. You don't know what they're going through in life, and you don't know what struggles or tribulations that they may be facing. So just smile at them. Keep it moving. Your life is not the only life in this world, and there's just so much going on. You know, you've got, not to get all political or anything like that, but you know, we're going into election season, right? So people are going to voice their opinions. You've got union workers and ports closing down right now, so stores are going to get rampant here in a little bit. You know, we got the holiday season coming upon us. You know, all of these different things. There are so much bigger things, and we just get a great opportunity to just talk football and BS with one another week in and week out. And I'm very appreciative that you guys and the boys have brought me on to do this. It's a nice little relief for me. And there's so many people out there that need more than just this. So be kind to people out there, man. That's all I can really say.
Absolutely. I think that a great quote is that you never know what someone else is going through. So be the reason why they smile that day.
We've gone very serious on our closing thoughts, so I'm going to not try to inject any humor. I'm going to keep the, just positive, upbeat, let's keep going in the right direction tone. And, follow us at Talking_Bengals everywhere you want to look us up on social media, on the TikTokies, the Facebook, or Book of Faces for those of us that are old. X, formerly known as Twitter, like Prince, became a symbol. And then also look us up on Instagram and everywhere else you want to check us out there. We got some awesome shirts going on. If you're like your festive Halloween season, we have a Boo Day shirt for you with a cute little ghost on it. Check out your Sunday Fun Day, ladies, kids, anybody who's into more of a fashiony look. We do have those out there for you as well. For those of us who have no sense of fashion whatsoever, we're mostly t-shirt and hoodie people. You can get our Anderson Brothers t-shirt, our Talkin Bengals y'all t-shirt. Check out all those different great merchandise that we have at talkingbengals.com. Get all of our episodes of the podcast there. Follow us for other upcoming potential opportunities that will be arising. Support Ken Anderson, Willie Anderson, hopefully getting into the Hall of Fame this year. And like Zach said, be good to each other. Nick and everybody wants everybody to be kind to each other. And win a football game, Bengals. Keep winning football games. That's what we'd like to see, because that at least puts us in a good mood for another week. Hooday.
Today.
Hooday.
Check out the latest Bengals gear with Season Enterprises with our Boo Day and Sunday Fun Day tees and sweatshirts. Check out Season Enterprises on Etsy or talkinbengals.com to keep the whole family in style this fall.
Thank you for listening to Talkin Bengals. Be sure to like and subscribe to Talkin Bengals on Facebook and Instagram at Talkin Bengals. You can also listen to Talkin Bengals on your preferred podcast provider. See you next time. Hooday!